I didn't know what to think. I mean, it was surreal, you know? These are the things that you see in the movies. I felt like, and I still do, that entire experience was from a movie. I mean, it still blows my mind that this happened. I mean, from the beginning to the end, like, I can't comprehend it, you know? It was really early in the morning. This was actually going to be the first day of school. I was going to go back to Wichita State after 10 years and finish my degree. I remember hearing all this racket, and I was so fast asleep that, you know, it was a dream. As far as I knew, I was dreaming. That was all going on, and I was asleep. I was hearing it from my living room all of a sudden. There are voices in my living room. So I woke up and I went downstairs. I'm going down my spiral staircase in my boxers, and there is an entire SWAT team staring at me. There are cops in my living room. Come down with your hands up, you know, hands behind your head. Big shields, they had the helmets, they had the shotguns, and their flashlights. They were obviously looking for something. They handcuffed me immediately. What's going on? I had no idea why they were there. They didn't tell me for 5.5 hours. It was probably 10 or 10:30 before they told me that I was being charged with rape.
Saber's case was the oddest case I've ever seen, and I may never have another one like it, where I've never seen so much of an odd mixture of things in a case. From the accusations that were made against him that, in my mind, didn't make sense, to the witnesses that just came forward and volunteered information to help him.
The day I met John was probably my 5th or 6th day in jail. And I was looking very forward to it.
I went to the jail to visit him because he had a high bond. And I thought it was gonna be a normal meeting with any other potential client where I get to know them, I kind of get their story, and then I tell them what we need to do and why. And Saber, it was very unusual because he was so adamant that he was innocent. He wanted me to understand that he was innocent, and he wanted me to believe that he was innocent. He made a point to stop me and say, no, you don't understand. I didn't do this. I need you to know that. And I realized, this guy's innocent. This guy didn't do anything. He didn't want an attorney that's just gonna take a deal or go through the motions. He wanted somebody to fight for him because he's innocent. And he wanted me to understand that. And that was important that he convey that to me. And I got that. And that was an experience that I've never seen, and I may never see again.
Fortunately, John was able to prove that a lot of these things were false. You know, from her initial police report that I had tons of guns, cash, and drugs in my place, which resulted in a SWAT team breaking down my door and arresting me at 5 o'clock in the morning, to saying that she got up to use the restroom while we were at the bar, and that's when I put something in her drink and then made her finish her drink. Well, you know, John jumps up and they went out to the bar, and fortunately there was a state-of-the-art surveillance system at this bar. A police officer reviewed these tapes, and he testified at the preliminary hearing that she never got up to use the bathroom, that Saber did not put anything in her drink. Everything was a lie, and the lies were so exacerbated that ultimately I had to have helped my case.
You hear about someone being falsely accused and you're like, oh yeah, okay, well, maybe they did something. You know, he didn't do a damn thing. He didn't. He was in the wrong place at the wrong time with someone that I don't believe was stable, a mentally stable individual. And boom, here we have this case, and it's crazy.
The incredible detective work that John's law firm was able to conduct in order to find her and serve her with the subpoena, it was just, I mean, I was so impressed, and really it just blew my mind that the level of work they had to do. It was beyond just uncovering lies. It was discovering the depths of the storytelling. Okay, I get a call from John. He's like, I have something very interesting to tell you. I got an anonymous letter in the mail with a printout of a map and a circle drawn around a house with a note saying, go talk to the people at this house. Turned out to be the parents of another sorry guy that she wrongfully accused of doing something to. You know, it seemed like every interaction, every investigative action that took place was an adventure. It was the morning of the trial, and I showed up to John's office. We were going to review some points before heading to the courthouse. And he looks at me and says, well, your case is dismissed.
You know, I remember telling him about it. And I remember I apologized to him because it had taken so long. What do you tell somebody who's falsely accused and had to fight and spend an enormous amount of money for a year? What do you tell them? So I told him I was truly sorry that it took that long. I was truly sorry that the government brought that case against him. I could never take that away. I could never take that back. I could never take the pain away. I could never take back the days that he spent in jail. I could never take back the months that he had the ankle bracelet on. But I could give him this. I could give him that dismissal.
I think at that moment I realized just how much stress I had internalized, and this relief that washed over me, it was incredible. And had I been dependent on a public defender, there's zero doubt in my mind that I would be in prison right now. And at that moment, I knew that I wanted to do what John's doing, what John did for me. And I want to help people who were wrongfully accused of crimes.
He was the one that was hurt. He was the one that had to go to hell and back. And he's a survivor. He's no longer a victim. He's a survivor. He's moved on, and he's going to tell his story. And I will stand there with him and support him every day for the rest of his life as he tells his story. That's important to me.
After that was done, school started at Wichita State about 2 weeks later. So I went and finished the final semester I needed to get my bachelor's. And within a week or two of the conclusion of the semester, I stopped by the Midwest Innocence Project and told them I wanted to volunteer. And so I started driving up there 2 days a week to volunteer. And fortunately, I was hired a few weeks later for a position they had open. And so I've been with the Midwest Innocence Project, helping with fundraising.
His story changed me. It did. It honestly did.
I'm not convinced that everyone would do the level of work that John did, because it's not good business to do what John did. I know John couldn't have made any money working on my case. In fact, after my case, he donated thousands of dollars. He sponsored a table at our fundraiser for $10,000, and that's just one of the things that he's done. So, he cares so much, and I think that's why he did everything.
I'm truly glad that I met him, and I consider him a very good friend. I honestly do.
John is not my friend. John's my big brother. He's definitely my big brother.